This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Today we're going to talk about Master P. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Look at Loyal Street out of Reidsville, North Carolina. Streaming on all platforms. Links below. Check it out now.
I don't love them hoes. I just want me and leave them. Hate when call me bro. I don't trust them. I don't need them.
Timmy, smashing that like button, smash it. All right, let's get right into it. So we're talking about Master P. Now, he arguably built one of the first and best independent labels that was taken seriously by a major. I mean, he got an 80-20 deal, partially due to Wendy Day. We'll get to that in a second because she speaks on this. So in 2003, No Limit Records had to file bankruptcy, and he sold his whole catalog to Universal. 1996, he was a independent record label, did an 80-20 deal with Priority Records, and he kept all the masters and retained 50% of the publishing. But what comes with that is you got to pay out all the different it's your responsibility to pay out royalties to artists, producers, writers, all that kind of stuff. This is where Cash Money goes wrong too, and this is why Birdman got in so much trouble. Now it's fixed, but so obviously Master P's making tons of money. He set a precedent for deals, that helped out Cash Money get their 80-20 deal, which Wendy Day was a part of that deal too. EMI purchased a 50% stake in Priority and handled the distribution and promotion with No Limit and global marketing. 97, he creates No Limit Films. He does, tons of movies, about it, a bunch of other stuff. Cash Money did the same thing when they got their deal as well. They kind of followed a blueprint. Master P laid the blueprint for all these companies. Priority Records distributes the DVDs. He sells, tons of copies at $20 a unit. 98, EMI purchased full ownership in Priority Label and obtains more market share competing against Sony and Warner. And then the same year, Master P inks a deal with Dimension Films to produce his second film, I Got the Hookup. So and then he also does Miramax Studios. They offer him a No Limit Films movie for $5 million advance to secure and distribute this to the box office. And he declines the offer and instead to just do it himself and finance the other half. He's always been very independent. And then Miramax somehow came back to him and did another deal to get into the box office. This is how hot Master P was in the 90s. If you grew up any point in the 90s and you didn't have a Master P CD, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, he signed his brother, he put his brothers on, I think he put his cousins on. Mystical came from there. Snoop Dogg, he saved Snoop Dogg's life from death row and got him over there and got Snoop making money because Snoop wasn't making any money on death row. In 2001, EMI decides to merge Priority Records with Capitol Records. And that same year, EMI is involved in a series of financial discrepancies, which affected budgets across a $20 million payout to terminate a contract with Mariah Carey, along with an $80 million signing of Robbie Williams. In 2001, Master P decides to leave Priority and sign a new distribution deal with Universal. And then later in the Priority, a huge become music, film, merchandise, sports. So he just sells everything over to Universal, basically. I think he did another 80-20 deal in 2001. P sells intellectual property, including merch to his name, Universal, and renames his imprint New No Limit. I remember that. So he basically restructured in 2001. In 2003, Master P files for bankruptcy with a series of lawsuits, performances under the imprint. He sells his catalog to Universal Music Group and enters a settlement to sell half his catalog to production team Beats by the Pound. Now, he had tons of lawsuits against him for not paying people royalties and everything. Same thing that Birdman has. it's a lot of responsibility to have an 80-20 deal, and you are responsible for all that stuff. If you're not paying it out, eventually people are going to have judgments against you, and they're going to take your label. But still, he's a trend. Somebody had to do it and fail for it to happen again. Like, he was the first person to like kind of take power away from the record labels, which needed to happen. So he's still a trendsetter, even though everyone's not going to do everything right. Let's get it. Wendy Day talks about this. She was part of setting up his deal. She dealt with him. She also helped her doing that really helped Cash Money get started. I wanted to give a quick rundown on all this because this is hot right now. Like, he's telling his story on BET, but are they going to tell all the dark parts of that story? Because when you tell the dark parts, people are able to learn and not repeat the same mistakes and do it right the next time. So let's talk. Let's get Wendy Day talking about that right. Went through properly,
Exactly.
And then what happened after that?
And then I met Cash Money. Before I came along, Cash Money had put out 31 CDs over a 6-year period.
Talk about consistency.
They weren't new. Yeah, they were consistent.
Yeah.
And they were selling between 5,000 and 25,000 copies every time they put a CD out, right?
Wow.
So I went to New Orleans for a conference, and I bought a CD at Peaches, and I think his name was Pimp Daddy. I can't quite remember. I think it was Pimp Daddy, though. Yeah. And when I turned the CD over, I saw the Cash Money logo on the back, and I'm like, well, who are these guys? Right. So I started to ask around. I went into the projects to see if I could find them.
Really?
Bad idea.
Wow.
Bad idea.
Well, you went to Magnolia Projects?
Especially back.
Magnolia and Calio. I was like all over the place trying to find them.
You're crazy, Wendy.
I know. It really wasn't the smartest thing I've ever done. But here's the plus, as a white woman going into the projects, people assumed that I was either a Fed or a social worker, right? But they didn't fuck with me. I was,
right.
And here I am today. But I didn't find them. Surprise.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to locate them.
Wow.
But they knew that somebody was looking for them. Maybe some white lady was looking for them.
Yeah.
So there's a street team guy in Houston called Lump, excuse me. There's two guys in Houston, Hump and Lump, and I always confuse them. One was behind I'm trying to blank on his name, oh my God. Little Flip. One was behind Little Flip, the other was the street team guy.
Oh, wow.
Right? So, so the street team guy, Lump, was working with Cash Money. We were working with Baby and Slim. So he called me and said, hey, you're the deal lady, and these guys are looking to get a record deal. I'm like, oh, who are they? And he said, well, they're Baby and Slim. They're Cash Money. I'm like, Cash Money? Oh, my God. I've been looking for them. Where have they been?
Yeah.
So when I got to speak to them, they're like, oh, you're the white lady that was looking for us. I'm like, yeah, the white lady that was looking for you.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, this was in August of 1997. At that point, we decided that I would shop them a deal, but I needed them to sell more than just 5,000 to 25,000 copies.
Yeah.
Because I knew that to get a good label deal, they would have to be selling like 75,000 to 100,000 copies of each release. And the only reason they weren't was because they were working just in New Orleans and Houston, like that whole I-10 corridor, right? That's where they were working.
So they were dropping off their own CDs at local hip-hop shops.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they were doing it like...
Guys, this is the term out the trunk.
Out the trunk with
Yes, out the trunk.
They had that work in the trunk.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But they were, like, fans really loved their music. Like, their whole movement was just incredible, right?
Yeah.
Myself included. And when I started working with them, I expanded their marketing area from just that I-10 corridor to the entire South. At that point in time, the attorney that was helping me shop the deal, his name is Peter Thea. Peter's firm also represented 3 6 Mafia. So we were able to put Cash Money out on tour with 3-6 Mafia throughout the Mid-South to sort of expand their territory.
Oh, wow. So Cash Money was opening up for 3-6 Mafia?
Yes.
Wow.
You never know it because there's so many artists with Cash Money, they rented a tour bus. And, these guys were making indie money, so they had money.
Wow.
It looked like 3-6 was opening for them, even though that wasn't the case.
Right.
That's crazy.
Cash Money was pulling up in a tour bus, and 3-6 was pulling up in, a little white van.
So basically, not to cut you off,
No, go ahead.
because Baby said when I was 18, I had $1 million. And
He
you
did.
basically confirming that.
When I met them, they were millionaires. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yep.
Salute
Yeah,
the
I mean,
bird.
they had the talent. Like I didn't find the talent. They already had the package.
Who was
All
the
I did
talent
was
on the label at that time?
Shine it up.
Who was
Say
the
again?
talent at that time on the label?
BG was the biggest selling artist.
Okay.
Juvenile was there then. Wayne was there. Wayne was actually my favorite.
Yeah.
Wayne was the most lyrical back then, but he was young.
Yeah.
Their favorite was BG. They also had Magnolia Slim, who became Soulja Slim later. He was originally part of the team. A female rapper, Miss T, I think her name was.
Okay.
I think she was part of the original. UNLV was part of the original.
So BG was the biggest selling artist. Wow.
Yes, BG had sold 25,000 CDs.
Because when we think Juvenile, right?
Well, Juvenile was the biggest once they got
Of course.
to Universal.
But BG
at
was the
the time,
foundation.
When I met them,
Yeah,
a
BG
year
was the
before, a year and a half before Juvenile blew up, it was BG was their biggest. Chopper City in the Ghetto was their biggest album, and he was their favorite.
crazy.
Like they had love for BG, like I can't tell you, like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he was their favorite,
Wow.
And so we shopped them for 9 months. Our first offer was for Juvenile from Penalty Records. It was for $75,000 just for Juvenile.
Okay.
Wow.
And the value of Baby and Slim was they let me say no for 9 months. Like they got it. They understood they were making more money than they were getting offered.
Can
So
I
they
tap
knew-
into something? Guys, the power of no is powerful. I mean,
my God, yeah.
when you have when you're able to say no, that's priceless.
It is,
Right.
because it showed the labels that they weren't going for the okie doke. And,
Yeah.
the labels weren't out on the streets like the way we were, so they didn't know how hot Cash Money was. In fact,
Yeah.
when I first, I wrote a business plan for them, and I was shopping a business plan because they had so many artists and they had such a great track record. Like I said, 31 releases over a 6-year period.
Yeah.
So I was shopping them with their sound scan. They didn't have radio play at the time. We were shopping the sound scan and the business plan. And when Universal first got the offer, Melda Winter called Peter Thea. Peter Thea was my attorney and their attorney.
Yeah.
Melda Winter called Peter Thea and ripped him a new asshole, like yelled at him. I remember Peter calling me saying, oh my God, I really offended this guy. I don't know why. Like, I see the value in this label, and he just thought like I was, asking for some crazy type of deal. And then right at that time, Dino DeValier, who was the A&R, had discovered Big Timers, which was the last album that we had put out.
Right.
This was in the fall of 97. And he brought it into the label, and once he brought it into the label, it showed Universal that we really did have something.
Okay.
And we started moving forward, negotiating the deal. There were a lot of labels that we were negotiating with, pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
Because these guys had such a track record, and as I was on the team, I was making sure that we sold more than 25,000 records. Like
How did you do that?
We went up to 75,000 by expanding their territory, their area, instead of just working Louisiana and Texas.
Yeah.
And Jordan, the other thing that I stressed to them was they would put out a record, and Master P was also doing this. They would put out a record, work it for 6 weeks, and then drop another record and forget about the one they just put out. And in 6 weeks, you can't sell enough records. It's too short. So I had them dropping less music and focusing longer. So we were able to work the Big Timers from when we started negotiating the deal all the way through the spring.
Yeah.
And focus, and we got up to 70,000 SoundScan CDs. Back then, when you were selling 75,000 CDs by SoundScan, you were actually probably selling closer to 125 to 150,000 because there were so many stores selling rap that weren't SoundScan stores. You know, there were a lot of mom and pops that you were selling CDs through that weren't reporting to SoundScan, whether they didn't want people to know their sales for tax reasons or they just didn't want to the expense of putting in a scanning system. I mean, there are a lot of reasons people weren't.
I think it was a combination of both.
I think so too. You know, I think so too. But we sold a lot of CDs, and when the SoundScan numbers were so high, you know, that's when the major labels were like, "Oh shit, we should be looking at this."
Yeah.
You know, and the deal went from $1 million to $2 million to $3 million, and you know, it ended up being an advance of $2 million per year over a 3-year period, so $6 million advance, and then a line of credit for each CD that the guys put out. It was an 80-20 split, 80% going to Cash Money, 20% to Universal. But the whole value of this deal wasn't just that it was a great split. Yeah. It was that these guys could put out 6 albums a year. Yeah. And spend Universal's money instead of their own money. They'd have to pay it back, of course. It was a line of credit, but Universal was also willing to allow them to hire outside people. So, for example, if they were putting out Juvenile and they felt that an outside person, like maybe the guy at Sony, was better at radio, they could go hire whoever they wanted. They didn't have to hire inside of the Universal building. So they were able to do whatever they wanted. They'd have to pay back the money to Universal, but Universal would fund this. And when has a major label ever said, we'll give you the money and you can go wherever the fuck you want to spend it. You don't have to spend it in-house. Yeah. And to add even more value to this deal, the guys own the masters. So if they left Universal after their 3-year deal was up, they could take all the artists with them. They could take Juvenile, they could take BG, everybody. If they went to Sony, for example, and they didn't. They stayed at Universal, but let's say they had wanted to go to another label, they could have taken everybody with them. In the music industry, you don't get to do that. And let me use
how did you get them to do that deal though? Because the music
they wanted Cash Money.
They wanted them that bad that they were willing to do whatever.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. You know, there's a point where you're negotiating deals and you get to an amount of money that's almost ridiculous. And then you can kind of back down on some of that money and say, you know what, instead of giving me this last, you know, X amount of dollars, you know, give me the masters instead. Or
that's a great negotiating technique that I never thought of. That's good, ingenious.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's not, the truth is, it's not about the money. Like, these guys were making money. Money, I mean, everybody needs money, right? I'm not belittling money. But when you're doing a deal, sometimes there's shit that's more important than the money, like the success, you know? And at that point, at that time in the deal, Master P, No Limit, was on a decline and Cash Money was just coming up. So one of the ways that I was pitching Cash Money was they're the new No Limit. And everybody saw how successful No Limit was, you know? And we proved by them having a 6-year track record that they weren't new to this and they weren't going away anytime soon. Right. And look how long they've lasted. You know, they've been one of the longest lasting independent labels in rap music, in urban music. So it's really kind of exciting.
Yeah. Now,
like I started to say, you know, and I'm going to use Bad Boy and MGK as an example, right? Okay. When Bad Boy left Interscope because Puff didn't own the masters, MGK had to stay at Interscope, and Bad Boy left and went.
Can you imagine that Puff Daddy's not getting a better deal than Cash Money? I mean, that's weird, right?
Well, he could have if he weren't all about the advances. Like when you're an independent label, the more you get on the back end, the less you get up front, right? Yeah. So you've got to kind of weigh the pros and cons. And once you start getting advances, it's really hard to stop. Because if somebody's willing to hand you $1 million up front, you can use that $1 million to fund your label and do whatever. Yeah. But it's very hard to stop taking that money and say, okay, I'm just going to take it on the back end. Because when you get money on the back end, it doesn't come in big chunks. It comes in steady, small chunks.
Why didn't
I'd
you
rather
stay?
have the steady, small.
Me
Myself.
too.
Yeah.
Now, why didn't you stay with Cash Money after the deal was broken?
Why didn't I stay with them?
Yeah.
Because they forgot to pay me.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah. Let's
get
That's
into
a lot.
that.
That's in the losses category.
And there's so much on the internet right now about that I'm not gonna.
We don't even have to get into that. Yeah.
But I'll tell you this: like after they didn't pay me, I sued them, and they paid me.
She got paid.
I've been paid. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Yeah.
But as time has gone on, like when it first happened, I was like, oh my God, I got them a $30 million deal. Like who doesn't pay the person that gets you such a great deal?
Since
like,
the amount is out there, you could say the amount so people can be flabbergasted.
It was a $30 million deal. I mean, when I had to prepare for court, we were 20 months in, and Cash Money had made $70 million at that point. So even though it was a $30 million deal, they were already a $100 million company.
Can you say what they defaulted you on?
Say it again?
Can you say what amount they defaulted you on, or is that out there?
No,
okay.
I can't.
Okay.
I signed a non-disclosure.
Okay, so we'll leave it at that.
But it was a way smaller amount. It was the price of a Lamborghini.
Okay. Okay.
That's fair. It was the price of a Lamborghini.
Hey.
Okay.
But she's happy now, guys. So let's let it in the past. It's just history. It's hip hop history.
It's just hip hop history, right?
Yeah.
But at the time, I didn't understand. Like, why would they do that? And they say that time heals all wounds because as time has gone on, I've realized that they don't pay anybody. Like they've been sued so many times for non-payment.
I mean, look what's happening with Wayne right now. I mean, who would have thought that would ever happen?
Not me.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, if Wayne was signed to me and was making me all those millions, I would cut him a check butt quick. And if my contract said that I only had to pay him $1 million and I was making, $50 million from him, I'd be like, dude, take 10.
I know what Rec wants to say.
I
know what Rec wants to say.
I want you to
funny you said that because Irv Gotti just said that. He said, if Wayne was my artist, I'll pay him double.
Me too. Because he was the foundation of that label. Like, he is that label.
Yeah, and he kept it alive at a certain point when it was declining.
Absolutely, he did.
Yeah.
Absolutely did. He was also always my favorite artist. Like, I always saw the benefit of Wayne. I don't know if they did or not because they were really so hype about BG. Yeah. But as a New Yorker, like somebody that really liked lyrics, the music, I think the music that Manny was making for Wayne was extraordinary. I think were the team. Yeah. And I think that Wayne was the one artist that could last without Manny. Like he went on and excelled even without Manny as a producer.
Yeah. So you saw the second coming of Lil Wayne back then.
Yes. Wayne was like 13 and he was just incredible. He's gotten less lyrical as he's aged, but when he was 13, he was wicked with it.
Yeah. Wow.
And as he's grown, he's gotten more into the whole stream of consciousness rap, so it's a little bit different than what
he's growing up.
Growing up, also drugs, not to put his shit out there.
Yeah.
Been pretty open
to keep it real
and stuff.
You know what's funny about the drugs thing?
I knew him when he was young.
You know what's funny about the drugs part? Shorty Low told me before he died, I was in the car with him, I was like, yo, we were just talking about studio stuff. I was like, do you write your own music? I was curious if Shorty Low wrote his own music because he was from the streets, right? And he said, yeah, I write my own music. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, but like it got worse. I wrote my biggest hits on drugs. He's like, yeah. And he's like, when I stopped doing drugs, I lost that feeling. I said, do you feel like you thought that you needed the drugs to write hits? And he's like, yeah, I think it was a mental thing. And I said, damn, that's what must have happened to Wayne when he came out of jail and he couldn't do drugs like that anymore. It's a mental thing. He still got it, but it's probably a mental thing. Like, I can only write that music when I'm doing lean or this, Like, I can't answer for Wayne. Only Wayne can answer for Wayne. But, it's just interesting.
In fact, the only group that I can think of was Aerosmith, right? They got sober and they still wrote hit records. Like, they did better sober than they did when they were...
But they hated each other more.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess the drugs take off the edge.
Yeah.
My mom always talks about Aerosmith like, screw them. You know when you know somebody when they were before, she was at a diner, I guess, up in Massachusetts, and she knew them. They used to perform for me, and, screw him,
That's so cool.
It's just funny to hear my mom talking about that stuff.
Yeah, because she's your mom.
Yeah. It's like, Mom, were you a groupie? No, just...
That's very funny.
And then, let's hope the best for Lil Wayne and Birdman. Hopefully they work it out because they were like father and son relationship.
I agree. Like it's more than just the music. It's just as an outsider looking in, it's just really hard to watch.
It is because come on, that was
really painful.
It was amazing, that bond.
I agree.
And you can't get that chemistry with just anybody. You meet a few people in life that have that chemistry.
And once it's gone, you can't get it back.
I wish Birdman would realize that and really just sit down and work it out, man. You guys, fuck money. Money comes and goes.
It's such a stupid thing to lose a relationship over.
Yeah, and you really realize that when you, I just lost Shorty Low, and you really realize how special someone is when they're gone. You can't talk to them anymore. It's like...
Exactly.
Sad, man,
Exactly.
So
you gotta just cherish life and relationships.
I agree.
Especially good relationships.
Yeah.
I agree. And we've lost so many people in hip hop. Like it's just crazy how many people we've lost.
Were you familiar with stack bundles, Wendy? I'm just curious before we get on to the next topic.
I know of stack bundles, but no, I didn't know.
Oh, okay, I did one of his only videos, and that kid was like, Rec knows, we were on the circuit at that time.
Phenomenal.
That was going to be top 5 for real.
Yeah.
I recommend you go back and just list the way
I'll check it out because I've never really done that.
Yeah, I'll send you a video. We got into the Cash Money deal. We know who Wendy is now, and now you know that she's a major part of the foundation of music that you know today. Okay, so now that you have the respect, you put some respect on her name.
Yeah, put some respect on her name.
But you know what, Jordan? My past, it's great, and I don't take anything away, and I'm so blessed for being able to do some amazing deals.
Yeah.
But I'm more excited about the stuff that I'm doing today because all of the artists that I'm working with are independent, and to me that matters so much more than somebody doing a record deal today.
Plug them real quick. The artist that you're working with right now.
Trouble from Duct Tape, and he's doing an amazing job. Artists today, when you put out your own music, provided you have the proper funding to market and promote yourself properly, you can make $100,000 a month in streaming and show money. You can make $200,000 a month in streaming and show money a month. You do really well independently. You can't if you have no money to invest in yourself. Right. But if you've got money to spend on marketing and promoting yourself in a large enough area, you could really make a nice living doing this.
Yeah.
You can feed your family.
Especially if you're a hustler.
Yes. You got to work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It doesn't just get given to you guys. God doesn't just come down and say, here's your success. You have to actually put the work in for God to bless you.
You've got to really put the work in. Absolutely, you do. And you've got to outwork everybody around you. Yes. So many times artists will reach out to me and they'll say, hey, I'm in Virginia Beach or I'm in Davenport, Iowa, and I'm the hottest artist. I want to get a deal or I want to start, making money doing what I'm doing. Yeah. And the thing is, you can be the hottest artist in your town or your city, but you're competing with artists everywhere, all across the United States. If you're, a U.S. rapper, you're competing with people in Houston and Atlanta and L.A. and New York. So you might be doing well. You might be getting 25,000 views, and you're in Davenport, Iowa. Yeah. But here's Trouble getting 4 million views in Atlanta. So if a label were to come along, if that was your goal, they're going to be looking for the person that has the bigger numbers no matter where they're from. They don't look and say, oh, I think we'll put on somebody from Ohio today. And then tomorrow we'll start looking at Colorado. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. They look at the entire U.S. and they see, who's got a fan base.
Yeah, and people
it reduces the risk.
People aren't restricted by borders anymore. You used to have your New York artists like, yo, I'm going to get this Cali feel and this. Right. You got A$AP Rocky in New York sounding like he's from Texas, guys. I mean... It's just the influence of the internet now. It just, you could be from anywhere, So
Exactly.
they're just looking, like Wendy said, they're just looking at the numbers. They're looking at the
Exactly.
YouTube numbers.
And Jordan, it's more than just the internet. I would hate for somebody to be watching this and think that they could sit at home in front of their computer and just, increase all their social media and get a deal. You've really still got to work the streets too. You've got to get your music out there. You've got to get on playlists at Spotify and Apple Music. You've got to get out on the streets and if people are still listening to CDs, which are still 39% of the selling market.
Which shout out to Spotify, Rap Caviar Spotify list. That's who runs that? The guy from MTV that's working at.
Oh, you took the Tuma.
Tuma. That's Tuma's playlist. You know that, right?
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Rap Caviar, that's his place. So shout out to Tuma. I've sat down with Tuma before. He's an awesome guy.
And huge thank you to Tuma for putting Trouble in the Rap Caviar list.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, like, we don't pay for that. Like, it's earned.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can pay to get. Who knows? But like, really, you really got to earn that position. Yeah, you got to earn that position.
I would tell you if we were paying for it. We're not paying for it.
Oh, I'm not accusing you of paying for it.
No, I didn't think you were.
Give me the secrets.
That's a big deal, because you can buy. I don't know about that playlist, but you can buy your way into playlists. Like, playlists are the new payola, right? Although it's not illegal because it's not FCC, tracked. Yeah. But you can buy your way into playlists, and playlists increase awareness, right?
Oh yeah, when I'm running on the treadmill, I'm playing that Rap Caviar playlist, and I'm getting put onto a lot of music.
Absolutely, you are. Absolutely, you are.
Yeah.
Your dog is spazzing right now.
This is one of the realest broadcasts out here because you're gonna hear everything that's going on. You hear Wendy drinking from her water cup. You hear my dog barking.
Diet Pepsi.
Oh, it's Diet Pepsi. I can hear you when you sip it. I can hear the vocals. Okay, so let's get into, like, if you're an artist out there, okay? This is like, we're going to give you a foundation of how to start your career, so you're not thinking like, oh yeah, I can't get on because I don't have a record deal, or I need to be on MTV, or I need to be on the radio.
You don't need that.
You don't need to start there.
No. Absolutely.
So you're against a record deal now, right? That's the last thing I heard.
Yeah, I am. Since 2005, when they became 360 deals, and I wouldn't be against a 360 deal if the major labels actually helped artists make money in that area. Like, if they were actually doing the work to get an artist into film and TV, or to set up the tour and route the tour, I wouldn't have a problem with them taking a percentage. Right. But the attitude is that the major label is building the fame for the artists, so they feel entitled to have a chunk of that money. I don't agree. Your job is to build fucking fame. You don't get extra money for doing your job. You get what's fair and acceptable. You get what's right.
So labels don't put the work in anymore to get you hot.
Well, they get you hot, but they don't take you and set up a tour and route the tour. It's your hotness that lands you the booking agent that gets you the tour. So if you're an artist and you're in a 360 deal, you might have to pay your label 30% of your tour income. 10% goes to your booking agent. So you're making less money touring on a major than you would as an independent.
Why do you think Dave East signed?
Say it again?
Why do you think Dave East signed to Def Jam recently? He was on Mass Appeal, doing well. I wonder why he signed to Def Jam. He must have had a good deal.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I mean, every artist has a different mindset. If you're going to be independent, you've got to be really entrepreneurial. Yes. And not every artist is entrepreneurial, right?
That's a good point. So that's where you would need a record deal, right?
Artists. Yeah, absolutely. You would need somebody to do it for you. Not everybody wants to structure their own tour. Not everybody wants to figure out how to market and promote. Some people just want to sign to somebody and let them kind of put them in the pipeline and figure it out.
Some people just want to be pampered.
Yeah.
Some people want
to be pimped.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, guys, I'm going to tell you.
And no disrespect.
No
disrespect to that person. But in today's industry, that's just,
like the tools.
Why give up 90% of your money
Exactly.
to somebody.
When you can get
for
100%.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do yourself.
And
I don't get that.
And basically, like, guys, the tool, if you're not the type of person to sit around and you're thinking, how do I get my stuff on iTunes or how to get on this? If you're not willing to type into Google how to do it, then you should go sign a record deal because the answers are at your desk. Right now, I can find out how to get myself on iTunes.
How could you want to do something and build a career and not learn how to do it? It would be like somebody saying, gee, I want to be in the NBA and I'm 40 years old and I'm 5 feet tall and I don't want to practice since I was 5 years old. I just want to get on the court
exactly.
against,
That's how ridiculous it is. Yeah, it's like...
It's that ridiculous to me.
Go ahead, Rex.
How not
I want to interject real quick because we on a 360 deal situation. Jay-Z did a 360 deal with Live Nation.
Yes.
Can you go into that?
Yes, and let me tell you that I don't hate 360 deals when an independent artist does a 360 deal with their investor or a partnership deal, like a 50-50 split, maybe not 50-50 on touring, maybe 70-30 on touring. I have no problem with that because that investor is putting up the money that allows the artist to go hire the consultant or hire the team that will actually do the work. Remember what I said about the major label? What bothers me isn't the 360 deal. It's that they don't do the work to get you the placements that they take a piece of that they take a chunk of the money of. But when you've got an investor, they're helping you to put a team in place so that you can hire the best and the brightest to help you move forward in your career. They should absolutely share in that.
Yeah.
It's not like they're sitting back going, okay, you go do all the work and just give me the money. They're giving you the money so that you can hire the team to help you move forward.
Oof. Okay.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, I got that. Because I know in Jay-Z case, he got $200 million up front from Live Nation.
Right. I don't know the numbers of that deal, but I do know that like that's the biggest tour company. Like, why wouldn't you? They're huge. Like I see the benefit of that. He
their
can
network
make that money
is there
back for them to touring.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right? So that kind of makes sense to me. But would he do that same deal with Def Jam? I don't know, because Def Jam isn't the biggest touring company, and he's at that point he was already famous. Yeah. Like once you're famous, why do you need a major label? Like what can they do? You know all the radio people, you know all the DJs,
exactly.
You know all the bloggers, you know all the promoters, you know everybody. Why would you stay on a label unless you were contractually obligated to? Why would you do that?
Some people just like to be pimped. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the work.
I guess that's it.
Yeah.
But at this point, they're multimillionaires, so they could hire their own team to do the work.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. If you're an artist watching this right now, you want to get the insight on how to start and kickstart your career right now.
Right.
Okay. So
I think that can I add something before
let's
you
go.
move
let's
forward
do it.
process? I think that we need to tell artists that they have to make great music, not good music.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
Because it's so oversaturated right now that you can't stand out if you're just okay. You're just good.
Right. Yes.
Your goal is to build a fan base, and to build a fan base, you have to have great music. Great music, not by my standards, not by Rex standards, not by Jordan standards, but by your fans' standards.
Can I interject? We're there, right there. Okay, there's I look at it two ways. Okay, either you're going to make really great music and stand out, or you're going to outwork everybody in the music industry.
You have to do both.
Oh, I think both.
I would argue you have to do both.
But let's look at Little B. Okay, from the Pack. Okay, I met this guy in 2010. Yeah, he's very, very weird, egocentric guy. Okay, and I looked at him in the music. It wasn't my type of music. Okay, but I still got him in the studio and got him into a better, recording stuff. I helped him where I could. Okay, because he was hustling, right?
Yeah.
And I respect the hustle. So
me too.
So basically, this guy,
I do.
He released a video like every other day.
Wow.
And it caught on. And it's not that good. Wendy, if I played it for you, you'd probably be like, it's not my type of music.
But he had content out there, Jordan. Like he was like awareness. He was building awareness. I love that.
That's true, but I think sometimes when you release a lot of content, people see your consistency. Sometimes they just buy into the whole work ethic part about it too. I'm not saying this is the route to go, guys. She's right about you got to make great music. I mean, that's the best way to do it, obviously, because talent will always outweigh hard work at the same time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But there is another way to get in is just oversaturate. Sometimes that could work against you or it could work for you. It's like flipping a coin.
Right. I remember when Gucci Mane was oversaturating. That's really
he is right now. He's about to drop another album.
Oversaturated.
He's about to do the same thing. He's about to drop Woptober in a few weeks. He just released everybody. I mean, but he obviously people were checking for him. He's pulling a DMX. 2 albums, one. You remember that?
Right.
Remember DMX first album? Then right away he followed up Flush My Flesh, Blood of My Blood.
I remember that.
And it worked. So he's
and back then that was amazing, Jordan, because remember it was like a year to 2 years before somebody would put out their next album. Like the cycle was so spread out. And now my artists, we try to put out records every 3 to 4 months.
Really?
Yeah, like Trouble drops twice a year. He drops every 6 months.
Okay.
If I had more control over the creative, I'd want him to put out releases every 3 to 4 months. I'd want him to do 4 a year.
That's what I had set up for Shorty Love before. I said, hey, every 2 we'll shoot everything, and this is how we're going to get you back. We're going to shoot everything on every mixtape, good or bad. Put it out, milk it. Once it's dry, you drop another project, and that's how you're going to make money.
Actually, you want to drop it before it dries, right? Like
yeah. But
drop it right before.
Or maybe drop the single right before it dries out, something like that.
Yeah, momentum is everything.
Yeah,
momentum is everything. And you want to be consistent.
I just set up a business plan for Rocco. Hopefully he follows it. I set up a business plan for him because he's thinking about coming back in 2017. I said, well, we need to warm it up now.
Absolutely, you do.
And I like Rocco.
I love his work ethic.
Salute to Rocco.
Yeah, big salute to Rocco.
Yeah, we're gonna set up that Wendy Day Rocco interview because Rocco is an independent artist from way back. He's one of the blueprints in Atlanta. I'd have to say.
Absolutely, he's one of the people that realized that it takes money to do this. Like he was never out here begging for people to listen to his music. He always self-funded. For those of you who don't know, he owns a piece of free bands of Future.
Yeah.
And
unfortunately, they're having their legal discrepancy right now, but I think they'll work it out. Those guys were... I remember Rocco pushing Future on me when I first came to Atlanta, and I was like, I don't see it, man. And he was like, trust me, this is the guy. But it's like Future got better as the years went on, to me.
Well, doesn't everybody?
Of
that's what we aspire to, hope. Yeah.
But he saw that potential in him.
Yes.
That's special.
All it takes is one person, besides yourself, to see your vision.
Yeah.
And y'all can go to the top. I've seen it happen numerous times. I know you've seen it, Wendy.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan. All it takes is one person that believes in your vision.
Yeah.
And y'all can go to the top.
Yeah.
This is facts. This is facts, y'all.
I mean, I saw it in Yo Gotti. I saw it in 2 Chainz, and I saw it a little late in Nicki. Remember Fendi saw it, and I didn't see it. He was there when I shot all Nicki's first videos.
Yep.
Right.
Fendi saw it. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't see Nicki where she is now. But she was definitely like...
I didn't either. I'm with you, Jordan. I didn't see her early on, but when social media first came into play, she manipulated it beautifully. Like she was everywhere. Yes. Her social media game was phenomenal. And when I saw that, I knew that it was going to take her to the next level. She was to social media what DJ Khaled is to Snapchat, for those of you that weren't around.
That's dope.
That's a
she
dope
was
analogy.
killing it.
Bars.
Killing it.
Okay, so guys, this is the portion we're going to get into where if you're a new artist, you're an artist sitting there, or you're just wondering how artists start, like where do you begin? You got a few dollars in your pocket. You don't have enough to go to radio. You don't have enough. You might have enough to shoot a music video. Maybe you don't. We're going to give you all these tools. It's not hopeless. There's hope. Okay? And you got to start somewhere to get to the next step. Okay? And that's what we're going to help you with now. You got Wendy Day up here. You got Rec, and you got me. Okay? And we're all going to give you a little bit of insight just to get that foundation started. And then we'll have an open forum maybe a week from now where you can ask your questions. Okay? So, Wendy, where would someone start say they have $1,000, okay?
The first thing they're going to do, they're going to start with great music, right?
Yes.
The next thing they're going to want to do is start building content. So if I were them, I would start shooting videos to my music.
Can I chime in right there with the videos?
Sure,
Just
absolutely.
okay, we'll do it step by step so you guys don't get lost.
That's your thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't afford a camera. Oh, I can't do this. Well, you have one in your pocket, guys. It's called an iPhone, okay? Rec sends me a video once a week off his iPhone. I edit it for him, and he puts it out because you know what? He's doing DVDs, this and that. He doesn't have time to shoot his videos, and he doesn't have necessarily all the extra money to go shoot all these videographers and stuff because he's running a website. He's running a business, okay? And his funds are going into his business, and music is his passion. But he wants to fuel it. So, guys, you film yourself.
All my money going to my business and to my kids.
Yeah,
So,
of course. Yeah, no, Rec is a very. This guy is an entrepreneur, guys. That's a good. So, guys. So, on your iPhone or on your Samsung, not only does it come with a camera that's HD, right? You got editing software in there, okay? Now, something's better than nothing, right, Wendy?
Yes.
Yes. And you got to do branding. I always recommend have your logo or something come up before a music video so people know that's you and they're attaching something to you. Like I took my branding from DJ Clue, being around people like Clue and everything. Clue, on a Clue mixtape, he always go, DJ Clue, Clue, Clue. I said, you know what? How am I going to be a videographer and stand out? So I would make sure JordanTower film. So you knew that this video was about to be hot when you watched it, okay?
Right.
And I branded myself like that. So you film
And
yourself.
producers need to do that as well, like producers and rappers, but especially producers.
And they started doing that. I don't know who the first one was, but you hear, Metro on the Beat, and all those guys, right? Zaytoven has his sound.
I love that because then I know right away who made the beat.
DJ Premier was the first one, I think.
Artist. Was it Primo?
I think it was Primo, right? Right, Rack? You had that little sound.
Yeah, and then also Primo, his signature sound was the scratches too. So
during the hooks.
Do something, he would do the scratch choruses on the record.
And he was an expert at clearing those scratches. He was scratching a Prodigy record on like what was it? Someone else. Yeah, he was just Primo's.
That's my homie too. Salute to DJ Premier.
So guys, you film yourselves and you can edit right on your phone. And if you don't know how to do it, it's called something called YouTube that has tutorials.
Google.
Yes, YouTube. It's all connected. It'll teach you how to just type in how do I do a music video on my iPhone, and I guarantee you there's a tutorial for it. Okay, so what's next, Wendy? You got the visuals.
I love that. So you want to make sure that you have your content. You want to set up. How basic are we going? Like, I need to set up a website, social media. That basic.
And guys, you can set up your own website too, right?
Absolutely. And all your social media.
Yeah.
And the challenging part in that is making sure that you have the same name for all of your social media and your website.
Yeah.
So if your name is John Smith, it's going to be a little bit harder for you than if your name is Abacabubba, which probably is not taken, So you want
choose your name wisely.
Exactly. You want to have your website also be, like I have rapcoalition.org, and then my Twitter is @rapcoalition. My Snapchat is @rapcoalition.
Yeah.
Everything is @rapcoalition. And that's really important to have. Except my YouTube, I really screwed it on that one. But you want to have @rapcoalition.
You can always change that, Wendy. I'll show you how to do that.
Will you show me how to do that? Because I need to do that.
I got you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
But you want to make sure that you set it up, and then when you're starting from scratch, you're going to have to find artists that have a similar sound to you.
Yeah.
So meaning if you're Trouble, you might go into Yo Gotti's and Kevin Gates' Instagram and Twitter and follow some of their fans.
Okay.
So that their fans might follow
That's
you.
good. That's
and
That's good. Yeah, I like that.
That's a great technique right there.
You're starting from nothing, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to start building your fan base. You can't go in and follow 10,000 people. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
You're going to have to use Google to find out what your maximum amount of followers can be. And then the ones who don't follow you back, you just unfollow them and then go the next day and find more. Every other day you want to do it, and start building your content, your followers that way. You also have to make sure you have good content. You have to engage them. You can't just put links to music and think people are going to be interested. You're going to have to talk to them and interact with them.
Show your personality, guys. Give your insights on the new Game and Meek Mill beef. Maybe do a little video on that on your Instagram, and to your thoughts, because people will connect to you. You're more of a real person when you're talking about current topics.
Yes, show them your real life. And Rick, I'm going to use you as an example. Like, I don't know you that well, but I look at your background and I see all those wonderful photographs. So it tells me that you've got not only an artistic eye, but you give a fuck about people, because I see them in the background, you know?
Definitely.
Your room, your content, it's very warm. So I know now that you're a warm person. So there's so much that I can get just from looking at you, and your followers are going to get that too. Like if you shot this as a video and put it on your Snapchat or your Instagram, aside from who you are and what you're saying, I would know so much about you just by seeing your background, you know, and what you're about.
That's good.
It's funny you say that, because I definitely was gonna shoot a video. I just had to, straighten up a little bit, in a day or two.
I didn't.
You can understand where I'm coming from.
See my Christmas decoration?
Guys, I'm cleaner than both of these guys.
You are. You're very sweet.
Absolutely.
And
I live alone, though. I live alone.
But your environment tells me so much about you. Like everything's sleek and black and white, and it's somebody who really knows you can get that. Like if I put you in Rex's environment, you wouldn't fit. Like it would be like, because I know you, right? It would be like, wow, Jordan, are you your grandmother's house? Are you your mom's house? Like, where are you? Because you're so sleek and so artistic and so black and white and on point. You know what I mean? It's just, you can see the difference in your personalities just from the background.
You know people.
You know people.
So guys, okay, so this is where we start. You get your visuals right, okay? So I don't care if you shoot it on your iPhone. You got to have something. Shoot yourself talking. Don't talk stupid, guys. Just, give insight on what's going on. Don't start showing how real you are with guns and stuff. You're going to go to jail, okay? You don't have to prove you're real. People can read that you're real just from being a real person, okay? Real, you know that term, real, recognize real? That's a real thing, okay? So you connect with people. You get your Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Those are the main ones, okay? And you're going to want to set up a website because you want a central place to push people to. And this is a website, right, where you're going to have your music videos. You can type up a bio. You can have your music there. You're going to have the links to your social media. And guys, another thing, Google how to build my own website. Wix.com, Squarespace. These only cost, guys, $10 a month you can have a website. $10 a month that you can update on your own. Don't go to somebody and build a website. That's a good way to get screwed. Once that guy disappears, you can't update your website anymore. So always build your own website. You want to be in total control of everything you were doing, okay? Now, you're going to want to set up a YouTube to host the videos you're putting up. And you're going to also want to be able to shrink those videos down into 1-minute segments to put on Twitter and Instagram, okay? All this is on Google. Again, you don't have to come to me, how do I do this? Google it, guys. Learn, okay? Take time to learn how to be in control of your own destiny. Okay.
That's what we all did, right? We all taught ourselves, didn't we? Everybody.
I didn't know. I might tell you a funny story, guys. Okay, so, and not to get too off topic. Okay, I'm in college, and I joined up with this thing called Hip Hop Nation, where content creators could submit content and get on TV on NBC in 13 cities. So I bought a little camera, a tiny little camera, and I'd go around and shoot. I'd call up Rockefeller, and I was like, yeah, this is Jordan from MTV. I want to do the behind the scenes of the new Cameron video. That was the first piece of content I did, behind the scenes of Oh Boy.
Nice.
Wow.
Filmed it, got paid, and then I reinvested that money in myself because they paid me a certain amount per minute, and that was great content. I had Jay-Z, everybody in that video, right? So I took that, reinvested in myself, bought a bigger camera that I in turn gave to Rec one day to start Forbes DVD.
Facts.
But so with this camera, I started telling people I could do music videos, and I couldn't. I didn't know how to edit or anything. So I taught myself how to edit and shoot on this camera.
Wow.
To maximize my money, because the first music video I shot, I hired somebody, and we had like $500 budget. It all went to that guy, and I made nothing. And it took me a week to edit the music video because I didn't know how to edit. 10 hours a day for a week to learn how to edit my first music video with nonfiction and DJ Premiere called Rockstars. That's my first ever music video. And I actually put myself in the music video because I thought, oh, this is going to be my thing. I'm going to be in the music videos. It was funny.
Right.
So then then Core Mega called me after that. I did his music videos. Then all of a sudden I'm doing Mob Deep's music videos. And then boom. Core Mega still owes me money on music videos, but that's another story. That was my start, though. You got to take L's to get to the wins, right? So that was the loss I took to get to where I am now. That's how I look at it.
But also know that an L isn't always a loss.
Right.
An L is a lesson. A lot of
Ooh,
times.
I like that.
I like
An
that.
L is a lesson.
I like that.
Okay, so Wendy, we got them set up. They're doing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Wendy. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, so you've got your website, you've got your content, and
Yep.
you're moving along.
Yeah.
Now you want to go out into the real world and start performing as much as you can,
Yeah.
even if it's free, everywhere you can. You don't want to pay to perform, but you want to perform everywhere you can for free.
Yeah.
So at events, to open for artists that are coming through town, wherever you can, you just want to get your name out there. You also want to start interacting with people just like you're doing online. You want to do that in person so that people get to know you. Oh, hi, I'm an artist. You know, I do this kind of music. What kind of music do you like? You want to interact with them. You don't want to just promote and blitz and drive them crazy at first. You want people to start to get to know you.
So go to any hip hop event you can and just talk to people, basically.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
conferences are big.
Not even just hip hop venues. Like if you've got a street festival going on, or you've got some sort of a May Day event in your town, you know, you want to reach out and see if you can perform at that event for free. You know, a lot of times community events want people in the community to participate, and you can do that. What I do with my artists, and I'm about to give you like the Wendy Day secret for building success, right?
Okay.
What I do is I take a map and I draw a 5-hour driving radius around wherever I am as an artist, right?
Okay.
And then that becomes my territory, so that I'm not just working Brooklyn or Des Moines or Chicago or Atlanta or Macon, Georgia. I'm working a 5-hour driving radius. So all of those cities and towns in that area are my market. I'm going to go to each one of those different markets. And the reason that I picked a 5-hour driving radius is because I can work that. If you don't have the budget to work that, you might do a 3-hour driving radius.
Yeah.
You might do a 1-hour driving radius. But you want to be able to work that entire area. You want to be able to meet as many people. You want to perform in as many places. You want to give out music, whether it's download cards or CDs or whatever way people in your area consume music. You want to be part of that, right? You want to give them music the way they consume it.
Yeah.
And if your budget is small, you're going to start out in a smaller area. And as you start to make money doing verses for people, or when you start to get paid for shows, you're going to then increase your area a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. Like with Trouble, we've only worked a 7-state area. You know, his music is played outside of our 7-state area, but we're only focusing on Northern Florida, Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, the lower part of Virginia, like the Richmond, Norfolk area, and Mississippi. Like it's a 7-state area that we're targeting.
Wow.
Those are great markets, though, for the
They're
South.
great markets. And he's making a great living in those markets. Like he's doing really well. You know, and as the money comes in, we go a little bit wider and a little bit wider. You know, a couple weeks ago, he did a show in Dallas and a show in Houston. So we're expanding as the income is coming. But we started with a decent budget. We had an investor. I don't want to mislead you we started with, what was your example, $1,000?
Yeah, let's say with $1,000.
We started with 150 times that. We started with more money
let's
than
not get
$1,000. But because we had more money, we were able to go bigger.
But guys, with $1,000, right? The website's only, if you want to buy the whole website for the whole year with a domain, is only $150. Okay, I mean, honestly, you could pay monthly if you want to. You could break it down to $12. Okay, then the music videos you're shooting for free on your phone, and YouTube is free to upload to, and then in social media is free. Okay, the next thing you're going to want to do, Wendy mentioned going out to events, right? That's usually like $20 at the door or something to get into a lot of these events. Or maybe
I think also as people get to know you,
Yeah.
you don't have to pay as much. Like if you're coming to an event that's happening every Tuesday and you're a regular, they're gonna let you in.
Yeah.
If you're really broke, go early. This is what I used to do, Jordan, when I started in the music industry. I used to show up to events early before the person was at the door
wow.
to really start charging.
Yeah.
And I would get in and I would offer to help. Like if there was a street team and they're hanging posters, I would go in and help them hang posters, and then I would just stay.
Wow.
And of course, there was a lot of dead time in
Yeah.
that. But I did the same thing for conferences and panels.
Yeah.
I would offer to volunteer to work, and I would exchange my time for being in that environment and getting to network and participate in hearing the panelists speak. Like you can give what you have to get what you need.
Yeah, and then another note is, guys, stop pressing CDs and handing them out. CDs are dead. Okay, you get a business card with your social media on it and your website, and that's what you give to people. Maybe a QR code. Look that up. I can't break it down to you guys. A QR code where they can scan it, but most people aren't going to. That didn't really catch on.
Yeah, that didn't really catch on.
Yeah,
a little bit, but not
Well,
really.
And I'm going to tell you, these websites now, they set them up so when you build the website, it also works on a mobile phone. It's almost like an app. Okay,
Right.
so they'll walk you through that on Wix.com or Squarespace, whatever. I'm not sponsored by any of them, so I'm not going to plug a certain one. There's a million of these websites out here. And shout out, Wix, if you want to sponsor us, Squarespace, hey, we're over here, man.
What were you saying? I think Rec was about to drop a jewel.
Oh, he is. No, I know.
Well,
I can see it. He got it in his face.
I would say this: instead of CDs, come with flash drives, and you can customize flash drives with your name on it or your logo on it. And just think about this.
Last drive for trouble.
And just think about this. Now,
But that's what you give the DJs, though.
No.
It's especially DJs because
Yeah.
it can get a little
I was
costly
gonna
to
go
give
into
it to
that.
everybody.
Yeah, I was gonna go into that. But also think about this: all the cars I think from 2012 have flash drives. They are flash drive compatible.
Right.
Right.
You understand? So all the cars, and then also everybody has a computer that a flash drive can upload to.
I wouldn't do the flash drive thing, guys, because I'm not to take that away from you, Rec. I would do that for DJs.
Done.
To give to DJs with like a clean and a dirty and everything. Oh, there we go. There's Trouble's new flash drive. It looks like a bullet. And
I like that.
Wendy's been talking about this for a while,
And then
it's
it's got
now
his logo.
it's real. It's here.
Yeah. See?
The bullet flash
I like
drive.
that.
But that's
See,
for
people
DJs,
will-
right?
Not just DJs. Everybody want to put their music on a flash drive. So even
Right.
if you ain't a DJ, it's still usul to you.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's why a flash drive is
Oh,
good.
okay. I see what you're saying. So if you're branding it with your brand on it, it's like having a pen with a business name on it. It's there. I see what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like
You're
that.
still
Rec.
gonna use the pen.
Oh,
Exactly.
come on.
Nice.
That's dope.
See?
That's
I mean,
dope.
does
You're on the same page.
It fits him, right? Like this is so trouble.
Yeah,
And
it's
no
rubber.
dangerous.
My
It's
only
dangerous.
complaint about the little guns
Yeah.
is that ew. My only complaint about the little guns is that I can't brand them with his logo.
Ah,
Whereas the bullet we could have printed.
Yeah.
These are rubber, but
Okay.
I mean, what says trouble better than this? Seriously.
that's
Yeah.
pretty dope. I know he
Uzi.
loved that.
Was that a
Okay.
Uzi and an M16 or something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, we have 7 different weapons.
They got Arsenal over there.
And these were maybe $2 a piece.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Guys, don't
So
mess
how
with
much
Wendy.
bullet?
She's trigger happy too.
These were about $2 a piece too.
Wow. Nice.
But now understand that when we press CDs, and we do still press CDs for the smaller towns
Yeah.
where people still want CDs. And again, Trouble's not a pop rapper, he's a street rapper. So
Right.
our market still listens to CDs.
Yeah.
We press CDs for 30 cents a piece. So I can press, more CDs than I can
Yeah.
flash drive.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. But
Music-
also in cars, there's Bluetooth
DJs
now
get
too.
out.
Oh, that's that's.
Yeah, they don't have CD players in cars. Now it all streams from our...
Exactly. That's why I was saying go back to thing on the business card, having your website on the business card, it could stream from your phone.
Right.
And go right onto the car. So I see what Rec's saying with the flash drives, and if you're able to put your logo on it, they're not going to just use it for your music. They're going to use it for other stuff. But
they're going to use it for. I want them to use it, but I want them to use the logo every time they use it.
Exactly.
I like that.
It's a combination of everything.
I agree.
Flash drives, and then having a Bluetooth, so you can stream the music from the phone.
Exactly. But bear in mind, if you're gonna give out like business cards with your links so that they can hear your music, you've got to entice them to want to listen to your music.
Right.
You can't just hand out 100 cards and walk away. It'll be like who the fuck was that? This is not interesting. But if you engage them in conversation and you talk a little bit about yourself and you find some commonality or some interest in them wanting to check you out, they'll do it.
And another thing, guys, I know this is said at most music conferences, but if you're going, okay, where did you go eat today? Did you go have lobster? Did you have a nice steak dinner or something? But then you're complaining you don't have enough money for your music. You have to sacrifice in order to get rewards out here, okay? So you're not going to be eating steak. You might be eating ramen noodles and saving that $40, $50 that adds up. And then you could reinvest in yourself. I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
The website is $20 a month. That's very important. You know? So, come on, guys.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So, let's get into, let's warn people about one thing, Wendy, with radio. We've got a lot of DJs out here saying, give me $500 and I'll spin you in all the clubs and I'll spin you at night and you'll get those spins going.
Shit. $500 is cheap.
It is cheap. I've seen guys lose
DJs,
$30,000 at radio.
Exactly.
First of all, not everybody should be at radio.
Right.
Facts.
You know what this comes from, Jordan? It comes from, as an artist, as a rapper, you're a fan of rappers. Yeah. So you're looking at Lil Wayne, you're looking at Lil Yachty, you're looking at 21 Savage, you're looking at Trouble, you're looking at Kevin Gates, you're looking at Nicki Minaj, and you're looking at all the ways that you're seeing them, and you then figure, oh, okay, I have to go buy World Star, I have to go buy radio, I have to have 1 million views. There's something in the artist's mind, instead of starting from step one and going up the staircase, it's like they want to start at the 10th floor where the superstars are, and you can't do that. You've got to kind of step back and figure out, okay, if my goal is to get radio, how am I going to build a buzz strong enough at the street level that when I go to the radio station or when I hire the legitimate proper people to go to radio for me, how am I well known enough in the community that they're going to want to play my record? Right. Or am I just wasting money at radio?
Right. That's a good point.
And I hate to, I hate to kill people's way of making money. Shout out to DJs because they matter. Yeah. But there's a ton of guys out here.
They're just taking money.
Yes. I remember when I first started working with Trouble, there was a DJ outside of Tampa, Florida, who said, I love Trouble and all that, but I'm going to need $5,000 in order to spin him at the hot clubs here and to get all of the other DJs in my crew to play it too. And by the way, that's only for a month. Yeah. So if you want 3 months of love, you're going to have to spend $15,000. Yeah. Well, Tampa's a great market and all that, but I'm in a 7-state area. I can't pay $5,000 to every DJ crew in that area. That's more than my budget. That's more than Jay-Z's budget. That's a lot of fucking money. Yeah. So we needed to figure out a way to get Trouble popping on the street so that the DJ had to start playing the record. Right. They had to show love. And it took us months and months and months. We didn't try to circumvent that foundation or those first few steps by going right to that DJ. Oh, let me just spend $5,000 and my music's so hot it's going to catch on. That's never the case. I can count on one hand the number of songs that were hit records right out of the box that people just started.
Records are worked. Records are worked.
Records are worked, and they're worked for a long time. Yeah. Sometimes you got to work one record for 6 months before it starts growing legs to get to that next level.
And some hit records was 2 years in the making. And some hit records are 2 years in the making.
Absolutely. Trouble's biggest record by himself, like his own song, was a song called Ready. And it was shipped out in March to the DJs. It started getting embraced in the streets and the clubs, right? Yeah. It started to get picked up by Hip Hop Nation at Sirius in July or August. Like, they started spinning it every now and again. We didn't go for radio with that record until September.
Wow.
And worked in September and October. November, we kind of got kicked out because of the fourth quarter. It was just too many other bigger artists.
Yeah.
And then Trouble didn't start getting paid shows until January because it took that long for that record. So that's almost a year.
Yeah.
You know, guys, that's 10 months. It took us a long time, or 9 months. It took us a long time with that one record, and that was a hot record.
Yeah.
That wasn't, that was a hot fucking record.
Yeah.
So imagine how long we worked the songs that aren't that hot. And that's just the reality. You gotta find your record, not the one that your boys tell you is your hottest record, but the ones that your fans tell you is your hottest record. What's getting the most hits at SoundCloud? Yeah. What's getting the most play at Spotify? Right. And at this point, I hope all of you have put your music up on iTunes and Apple Music.
Let's get to that. Okay,
let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that, guys. You could do pretty much most of the setup foundation work right from your home, your laptop, some computer. Okay. Now, some of the services out there, you got TuneCore, right?
I like TuneCore.
I like TuneCore, and there's another one. Rec, what's the one I told you? It's like a membership per month.
Membership per month?
Per year, and you can put up as much music as you want.
I don't remember.
There's another one up. What's it called?
I don't know. It's a good
DistroKid.
idea,
It's called DistroKid.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
$20 a year, as much music as you want.
Nice.
That's crazy. No. I don't know how that works. But anyways, guys,
do
you
they
can
put it up on Spotify, the streaming services as well?
Yeah. Right. So like with TuneCore, you pay $30 per album or like $10 a single, and they distribute it. That you have your own distribution right there. $30 a year, right? Spotify, Tidal, iTunes, Apple Music. You're on all the major places, and you can start promoting people to buy your music. I mean,
and you have to promote, because you can't just put it on Spotify and then sit back and say, "Okay, now I'm a star."
Right.
You've got to actually drive your fans to your song.
This goes back to shooting the videos.
You get paid.
Yeah.
You get paid for that.
You shoot your videos, but you got to put links below your video to buy the music. Drive them to these places to listen. You get paid off the streams, or you get paid off of iTunes sales or Google Play sales. Drive them, okay? Put up snippets on your Instagram and say, hey, link in bio. Make them go to your website where you have links to go buy this music. So, because people aren't going to go search for you. You got to make it really easy for them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. Jordan, I wrote an article on my blog, which is industryreport.com, and I'm not plugging my blog.
Right.
I'm just telling
go
folks
ahead.
that
Plug in.
I put up what each streaming service has paid for one of the artists that I'm working. You can probably figure out who it is, but I did it in March, and then I did it again last month, so I showed the difference of income between what my artist was making in the beginning of the year and what they were making halfway through the year.
Wow.
Just and we may or may not be distributed through Empire. I don't want to tell you who the artist is, but you can go and you can look and you can see, how much does Spotify pay per stream? How much does YouTube pay per view? Right. How much does Deezer pay? Yeah. And you can see that, when the artist started, he was making $6,000 a month in streaming.
Wow.
That's nothing to sneeze
at. Guys, plug your blog again so they can go check that out.
Oh, it's industryreport.com.
Okay, guys, that if you guys want to see some insight there and see what the real payouts are, you got to go there and just check it out. And
absolutely.
I mean, maybe this will motivate you.
The article is called Streaming, and I wrote it in September. I can't remember. Yeah. You're gonna have to go back a few articles.
Yeah.
But it's about streaming, and it lists how many streams does your song have to be played at Spotify for you to make $100? Yeah. Like, I broke it down that easy for you to understand.
See, guys, we're giving you a lot of insight. I hope you guys are getting motivated and desire from this, and then resolve saying you won't stop until you get it. Right?
Exactly.
First question. this is for people that don't know. What's the difference between a distribution deal and a joint venture?
What a great question. There's really three basic kind of deals. There's an artist deal, which is where the artist gets somewhere between 12 and 15% of the retail selling price of the single or the album.
Yeah.
And I'm old school, so I still call them albums, but the body of work. And out of the artist deal, you pay back all of the expenses that are spent for your marketing and promotion. This is if you sign to a label, right?
Yeah,
Back, yeah, exactly. You pay back all of the money that's spent on you out of your little 12 to 15%. So once you pay back all the money that's been spent, then you start receiving royalties, which is between 12 and 15%. Very few people that I know signed to major labels have ever recouped. Whatever they get for their advance is usually what they make.
Okay.
I don't know anybody that's I can count on one hand the artists that I know that have recouped. Usually it's the superstars like Eminem, Jay-Z, etc. The next worst deal that you could get, that's kind of a weird way to say it, isn't it? A better deal that you could get, much better way to say it, would be a joint venture. And that's a 50-50 split. Now, to get a joint venture, you've got to be bringing more to the table. You need more leverage. So you've got to have your fan base already in place. You've got to have a reason for a label to say, you know what? Instead of giving you 12 to 15%, I'm going to give you 50%. You got to be bringing a lot to the table.
Yeah.
And then the next better deal, which is the best deal you can get, is a distribution deal. And that's usually an 80-20 split where you keep 80% as the artist, 20% goes to the label or the distribution company. The thing about a distribution deal, though, is they very rarely advance money. And you've got to have enough money to put out a record. For me, and I'm not average on this, but I can't seem, for the artists that I work, I can't seem to get them monetized. I can't seem to get a return on investment if I spend less than $150,000 on marketing and promotion. So for me, if somebody comes to me and asks for help, they need to have a budget of at least $150 in order to market and promote properly, right? Now you can do this for less than $150. I'm just giving you my example.
And that includes a radio budget, right?
Yes. That includes video. That includes everything except recording.
How much do you need to go to radio with if you're ever going to approach radio?
30,000. It starts at around 30,000 for regional radio. If you're going to go national, which I don't suggest anybody do to start, because it's hard to chase all over the country to back up that radio to perform in all those areas and to work all those areas. But a national radio budget can cost you $100,000 and up.
Where does that money go?
Well, what you do is you pay a radio promotion person, and then they go to the program directors at the station, and they work out a financial arrangement where the program director will put you into rotation.
Okay. And regional guys means within your radius, a couple states.
Remember the 5-hour driving radius?
Just so they don't know. Yeah, just so they know. Yeah. Hey, so that's real basic here, you know. So
I like that. I like basic.
So guys, if you don't have 30 grand and someone's coming to you with dreams, if it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true. For $1,000 bucks.
Sorry.
For $1,000 you're not getting played on the radio, guys. That guy's taking that money. He just went to Ruth Chris, took out some girls, had some steaks, and calling you, yeah, we're spending you tonight, bro.
I love that you said that because, so many of the people that I run into in the industry are either inept or fuckboys. And you can lose a lot of money in this industry. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So you've
a lot
got
of con artists out there, guys.
Yes, you've got
you
people
can't
that
pay to get
take
on
the
MTV.
money because that's their job. Their job is to rob you, right? To take your money. Yeah. And then you've got people that tell you they can do something but can't.
Right.
So their ineptitude is making you lose money. Yeah. And I'd say there's more inept people and more fuckboys than there are legitimate people working in this industry.
Guys,
you got to really research.
And they hang out in the club and they figure out, it's like, hey man, you're not on MTV? Yo, give me $2,000, I'll get you on MTV. You can't. It's illegal to pay to get on MTV, guys. You submit it. You get a video guy and they submit it like anybody else, and if they like it and you got the spins behind you or the support behind you, they're
you
going
need
to
have
play it.
story to tell. Exactly. Then you get played. But you need to have that story. You can't just shoot a video and send it to them and become a star. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
you've got to have a buzz. You've got to have a following.
You got to look like
you've gotta
something.
Have YouTube views.
Yeah.
You've got to have social media popping.
Exactly.
It's the whole package.
Yeah. So focus on your foundation first, guys. You can't shoot from the bottom, from the mailroom to CEO. It doesn't work like that. You got to be consistent. Don't think you're going to shoot the video. Yeah, and don't think you're going to shoot the video and be a star tomorrow. You might have to shoot 100 videos before you ever get there. Look at Cash Money Story with Wendy. How many CDs did they drop before they got a Universal deal?
31 over a 6-year period.
31 over a 6-year period. Took them 6 years to get that big deal, guys. I mean, they were millionaires, but that wasn't enough for them. They wanted to be superstars.
Exactly.
Still put the work in. I got another question.
Okay.
Hit me, right?
Which a lot of artists don't know. What is publishing?
Publishing is the ownership of the music and the lyrics. It's the real estate, if you will. Okay. And I'm not going to get too deep into it because publishing could be a whole nother 2-hour discussion.
Yeah. We'll save that for your YouTube channel.
I'm sorry?
We'll save that for your YouTube channel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's a lot of different ways that you get paid from publishing. Mm-hmm. So it's something that you really want to read about. I was in this industry for 5 years before I really, really understood publishing. So it's not something that comes easy. But Donald Passman has a great book, Everything You Want to Know About the Music Business. I suggest you read that, whether you buy it, steal it, download it, whatever you got to do.
And Wendy has a book too, guys. Wendy has a book out there too.
I do have a book. I wrote a book. The number one question I'm asked is how to get a record deal. So I wrote a book about it, even though I don't think you should get a record deal. Right. But it's a great book to read because I tried to be unbiased and break down the different types of deals. I talk about why a label would want to sign you, why you would want to sign to a label, how to really investigate them. Like, you know, if you're a trap rapper, you might not want to sign to Interscope, which is better at pop music than they are at trap. Mm-hmm. You know, Atlantic does a great job with Gucci and with Bootsy. So you might, if that's your lane, that might be the place that's better for you.
Yeah. And hold on to your publishing, right?
Oh my God, always hold on to your publishing.
Yeah.
In all the deals that I've done, I've never done a publishing deal. I just don't. I don't believe in them. I don't.
It's worth too much in the long run, right? That's what you get paid for the long term.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Now, what do you say to like a record deal that you got to give up your publishing? Like, say for instance, they offer you a deal, but they want, I guess, either 50%.
Almost all do. It's hard to get a record deal today without giving up a percentage of everything. Mm. You know, 360 deals want half of everything except your show money. And of your show money, they either want a 60-40 split or a 70-30 split. You get the bigger split, but they still want, you know, almost half. So I guess the answer to that is how bad do you want to be signed to that label? Because unless you have leverage, you're going to have to give up a chunk of your publishing.
Yeah.
It's reality.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, one more question. What is a manager?
I love this question. A manager is the person on your team that steers the ship, if you will. It's the person that you hire that's going to put the rest of your team together. They're going to sit down with you and figure out what the goal is, and they're going to put a plan in place to get you to that goal. The thing about being a manager, especially in urban music, is that you really need the connections and the experience. And we have this problem in hip hop where as artists, we don't trust other people. So we usually appoint our boy to be our manager. Yeah. And the problem with, you know, the upside to that is you trust him, right? It's your boy. Yeah. The downside is they don't have the experience or the know-how or the connections to get you to where you want to go. So you may do a deal with your friend to be your manager, or even somebody who's kind of bumbling around. I call them bottom feeders. Somebody who's bumbling around the industry that isn't really busy all day, every day working. So they come to your shows and they bump into you wherever you are, and they say, gee, you should let me manage you. Even though they're not qualified, they say that they're a manager, and they went to Kinko's and printed up business cards of Vistaprint and printed up business cards that say manager. But for some reason in hip hop, we don't ask them, well, whose career have you managed? Who have you brought from being absolutely nothing to something?
Right.
And I don't mean folks that, manage somebody who's already a star. Like if you're managing Young Thug today and you didn't bring him from nothing to something, I'm sorry, that's not rocket science to me.
Exactly.
Like once
It's too easy.
You
just pick up the phone at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to know who brought this artist from nothing to something, and who are those people? And what I always tell artists to do is put together like a dream list. Like, who would you want to manage you? And it doesn't mean that they're going to say yes, but at least start talking to those people and see what the conversation is. When you talk to Scooter Braun about being a manager, it's a much different conversation than when you talk to Louis Lump Lump down the street. At least put yourself in position to know what language they speak and what their game is and what they do for people, and I realize it's not like you can just call up Scooter Braun and say, hey, hi, want to manage me? You've got to put a plan in place to get to that level, and you've got to have something going on. He didn't just pick Justin Bieber out of a phone book and say, let me help build your career. He saw videos and he saw a process of growth for Bieber where he reached out to him and said, hey, I think I can help you. You've got to have something that attracts somebody. A manager gets paid 20% roughly of your income. So if there's nothing and no way for them to get paid, 20% of nothing is nothing. You're not the most attractive candidate to be managed. So put yourself in play. Get as much going on. Do what Jordan and I just discussed about investing in yourself. Build your social media. Build your content online. Have a reason for somebody to want to manage you. And don't be too quick to jump into bed with the first person that agrees to manage you. Get a real manager.
They have to be qualified.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
They have to be qualified.
Do you have any other questions? He's an artist, so he's got the best ones.
Yeah. That was
I think it's
my
a great
three,
start.
my top three. I mean, I could go on and on. I could go off the top.
Well, let's save it for another conversation because we can get into that. I want to get into the last two things real quick. I mean, they're quick, and then we could wrap this up. Now, as far as this stream is concerned, Wendy Day, she's starting her own YouTube, guys. I'm assisting her start it, and this is going to be everything you need to know about the music industry. Like, if you have questions, she's going to how often do you think you're going to upload, Wendy? A couple times a week, 3 times a week, or?
Yeah, probably. Maybe twice a week.
You're just going to break it into chapters. It's going to almost be like reading a book. I know a lot of you guys don't like to read, and you like to watch. I mean, that's just the thing now. You like to even listen to the news, which me and Rec do, okay? So, basically, you're going to get something from Wendy 3 times a week, probably Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. She's going to drop chapters like a book, and it might be a 300-chapter book, guys. I mean, there's a lot to know, Publishing, that could be broken down probably into 100 chapters on its own, right, Wendy?
Yes, it could.
I still don't understand publishing myself, okay? And
it took me years. Like, that doesn't surprise me, Jordan. It took years to understand. Just when I thought I understood it, I would learn something else and be like, oh my God, I know nothing.
Yeah.
It's just it's the ownership. It's where the money is. So you got to learn it.
Yeah. Well,
and when people sell their
publishing has something to do with the songs you write.
The ownership of the song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because they might not be clear what is publishing. That's the songs you write, the lyrics you write, the music you compose.
The ownership.
And guys, when you hear someone do
real estate, you can rent it out or you can sell it. It has value.
Yeah, and sometimes there's an upside to selling a portion of it because they can collect it for you.
Yes.
You might be leaving a lot.
Admin deals. You could do an administration deal and have somebody collect it for you, and it only costs you 10%.
Oh, that's a better deal, guys. Go for that
sell
one.
it. If you sell it, they
Yeah.
own it forever.
Yeah. So, yeah, guys, do the administration one.
But you got to have leverage to do
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Everything
you
is
gotta
leverage.
build.
Yeah.
You got to build your buzz.
So,
Chance
Momentum
the Rapper
and
can
leverage.
do a beautiful admin deal right now.
okay.
Beautiful. Trill Sammy, not so much.
Right.
You got to really have a bump and buzz.
So, guys, we're going to link Wendy Day's new YouTube page. Right now, it's This Is Wendy. We're going to... Wendy Day, right? This is Wendy Day? We're going to change it to something else, but that link is still going to work. I'm going to link it below so you can start subscribing to her. And that I'm going to link the first one, but it's still going to work. And we'll have her back on next week, maybe, to answer some questions that you guys might have.
I'd love that. That'd be great.
A quick update. We'll update you guys. And thank you so much for joining us, Wendy. I appreciate it.
No, thank you.
And don't hang up on me
Man,
right away because I still have one more thing to ask you after we get off the end of the broadcast. But Rec, man, amazing information on your side.
Rec,
you, Jordan.
good job building your brand, dude. Like,
Thank you.
Forbes DVD, killing it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in awe. I'm
Appreciate that.
impressed.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Really impressed.
I didn't do it myself, so shout out Doggy Diamonds because I never like to take full
Yeah.
credit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
So-
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
We
definitely.
definitely do it collectively. You know what I mean? Thank you.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, thank you for all the insight, Wendy, and we look forward to talking to you next week.
Yes.
This is Daily Hip Hop with M. Rec in Jordan Tower. Every day, reporting hip hop news and giving you the latest interviews and insight. We're giving you guys gems here. So make sure you tune in. Stay tuned. We'll be live at you in a few minutes. This is Daily Hip Hop News Live with Jordan Tower and M. Rec, bringing you the latest hip hop news. Oh, well, guys, we're here. We are here, guys. What did you think about that broadcast? Rec.
You?
Yo, Rec, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Rec?
I can hear you. What's happening, my guy?
Let me get your audio in here, okay? Give me 1 sec.
All right.
Guys, we're in here. What did you guys think about?
Matter of fact, hold on. I gotta plug up. I took the mic off. Hold on, damn.
Oh, for real? No, don't worry about it. Let's just vibe for a second. Okay, you there? Rec. Yo, yo, yo. Here, Rec, I might just get you on like this. It's easier.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's going on, people?
Yo, guys, there's going to be a replay, okay, right after this. We just wanted to stay live and talk to you guys for a minute. The show's right. We're here, guys. We're here. We're live.
Yeah, we live in the chat room too. So Amir G, that was.
Yo, that was us, Amir G. Come on, bro. You know. So this was a very important episode, guys. Wendy Day. She gave you guys the keys to success. This is just part one with Wendy Day, and I'm helping her.
Talk.
Yeah, and
Talk for real.
And I'm helping her start a YouTube channel. It's going to be This Is Wendy Day. We'll probably make it like rap code. We're going to figure it out. But go subscribe to it now. It's already there. This Is Wendy Day. And
Subscribe to that.
yeah, it's going to be like a book, guys. Every day or every other day is going to be a new chapter. Like copyright, all this other stuff. You know, and guys, make sure you hit that Patreon link for us and support us, okay? Now, guys.
Support that Patreon, y'all. Stop playing. Let's get it. Y'all, we give y'all clubs talk.
Hell yeah. What did you guys think? Give us some feedback. Luke Keys, thanks for coming in here. Trill for Life, Champs Money, Saeed Guilford, Sincere Simmons. We do this for you guys. Eric Rabb, Tommy Lee Taylor, I see you guys.
Salute.
So, thanks, guys. We got a deadly wishable good interview. Saeed Guilford. Yeah, just subscribe to her. Awesome. This is Wendy Day. This is Wendy Day on YouTube. Make sure you go subscribe, guys. Get her subscribers up. I think she was at 70 subscribers. I want to see her well over 100 subscribers by tomorrow, guys. We got 95 people in here right now. Go to youtube.com/Wendy. This is Wendy Day. This is Wendy Day. Can you type that in the chat real quick, Rec? You in there?
Yeah, I'm in the chat.
So go youtube.com/This Is Wendy Day. You know, make sure these guys know that, hey, this is family.
Yeah,
You subscribe to us, you got to subscribe to her. You want to know everything about the music industry, guys? Go to This Is Wendy. Don't leave the chat. Just make sure you open it in a new window, click that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that Patreon, guys. Up there, there's a link. And, just make sure you go to Wendy Day, man. It's very important. Very important. If you guys like this is just scratching the surface. She's affiliated with us, and we're going to support her just as she supports us on YouTube, guys. It's all about supporting your people. You got to support your people.
That's all it's about.
Definitely subscribe to her, guys, because, guys, if you like that, I mean, she got that for a year's worth of stuff. I mean, she's going to drop these 5-minute videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I got her on a schedule, and she's going to be just like giving you guys the keys to winning in this music game. And make sure you guys don't get screwed out here. Right, Rec?
Yeah. Yo, that's what it's all about, man. Not getting screwed, not getting fucked over. And also, this information helps you so you don't be put in those situations. So shouts to Wendy Day, shouts to JT for making a plug. JordanTower, that was a big, major key.
Hey, guys, I got to tell you, Wendy doesn't even remember, but she used to mentor me in 2002. I used to call her phone, right? And she used to give me keys, like how to, get in the game and what to do, what not to do. She doesn't even remember this. We re-linked back up in 2008 and 9 when I started working with Young Buck, right? She started, I noticed that someone said that publishing stuff is confusing. It is, and she's going to get into publishing. She was like, we're going to have to talk about that another time because that's a whole nother podcast. With a video cast. We're doing live video casting. We're going to call this live video casting, right, Rec?
Yes, sir. I mean, we changing the game, man. You know, everybody's podcasting and all that. Salute to that, but we live video casting. That's what we doing. You know what I mean? We can still go podcast, but we're gonna get it live. And then for the people who's into the podcast, we give them that on the SoundCloud. You dig what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. How real are we, guys, to come in after this and just come in and just chat with you guys? I mean, we fuck with you guys. You guys support us. We're here for you. This is like family right here. You guys tune in every day and watch us. You know how much that means to me and Rec? We get amped all day.
Man.
Hell yeah.
My heart. Y'all tune in every day and y'all put them chats in the room and all that. That right there means a lot. That's real love, man. So we ride with y'all. Show that Patreon love. Show that dailyhiphopshot.com some love. And let's keep this thing going every day, man. We're going to do this for y'all.
I'm going to start calling you guys the JT family, Daily Hip Hop family, MREC family. You guys are fam.
This is fam right here, man. Salute, man. Let's get to the name. Shouts to Matic World. There's a lot of people in here.
Just me.
A Deadly Wishable. Who else? Just me.
Cooper Celico. Cooper Celico.
In here wilding as always. Stamps Money, what up? Hassan Ali. Everybody. Avery Walton.
Yeah,
Cooper.
Shamps Money, what good?
I can't get the last name.
Pipeline TV, what up?
Pipeline. Trill for Life 23. What's happening, Jays?
Let's see. I just got to burn more after eating. Yo, Ghost, what up?
Matic World, we changing the game, man. We need those Patreons, man. The support, man. We're going to keep this thing going every day.
Yo, 1, 2, 6. Now, guys, if you missed part of this stream, don't worry. It's going to be available in my playlist on my channel, Daily Hip Hop, or you go to the news, right? And then basically it's processing. It'll be available as a regular video in just an hour, but it'll be available right away for the replay on my channel if you look for it. I'm going to make it public in a second after we end this. But guys, and it's going to be on Rec's channel too, MREC TV.
Facts, y'all. Let me shout some people, Jordan.
Okay.
Shouts to Taylor, 1100. Yo, that Biggie documentary is coming. Me and Gene about to do something real exclusive real soon, probably like in the next few days. But we're gonna do a live stream with that in November. So that Biggie documentary, if y'all want that, y'all can buy the tickets, man. Y'all gotta listen, man. Go to them links that you see in them uploads when you see Biggie bodyguard, mentioning the situation. You gotta go to those links. But on another hand, let's shout these people out. What's that? I can't get that name. SCHELLZ. What is that? JSC Hells? I don't know. I'm trying to get these names. Mr. So What? Who else? James Galloway. Saheed Guilford. Who else? Yo, 123789, respect.
You're looking for the truth. What's good, bro? James Galloway, what's good?
What's happening, y'all? What's popping, James?
James Galloway wants the guide to building a poppin' YouTube channel. That will come in another stream, guys.
You already know. Say late, man. I got you, man. Lock in the MREC TV, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Like, hit that link, man. The last Diddy former bodyguard video, just the links is there, man. Just hit that link.
Eric Rabb, what's good, bro? Who is this guy Hassan Ali? He's somebody that you know, bro, for sure, for real.
Hey, man, I shouted him out, so it's all good.
A Deadly Wishable, what's good? James Galloway, I see you, bro. Matic World, what up?
Oh, he trying to get his Twitter on. Come on, man. Drop that Patreon, man. You know
Yo, yeah. Make sure you guys support on that Patreon. Make sure you subscribe to Wendy Day, right? Subscribe to Wendy Day. Get them gems.
All day.
This is how you can support us. I'm putting the link up right now. You can go to that Patreon, or you can go buy a t-shirt at the Daily Hip Hop Shop.
Exactly. Support us, man. We support y'all.
So would you
we giving y'all that clothes.
Oh, yo, someone said get Turk. What's up with that Turk shit, Rex? Rex talking to Turk right now.
I'm speaking to Turk right now on the text. You know what I'm saying? So the homie saying we looking good for tomorrow. So y'all
Thursday.
Have a great show tomorrow. Again.
Tomorrow, we're gonna do it tomorrow or Thursday. We'll figure it out.
We figure it out.
Guys, what do you think about Zoe Dollars? Guys, what do you think about Zoe Dollars? Do you think Zoe Dollars would be a good interview or not? Let me know. Why
not? What's the song? How the song go?
Run for the money, run.
Run for the money. Yeah, run for the money.
I'd play it, but they would claim the whole damn video if we put the song in. They take all our subscribers.
Magic World said nah.
Yeah. People don't really know Zoe Dollars like that. He just put up what did he put up?
Song too old by now?
That song's not that old. Zoe trash. Nah. I like Zoe. I think he's a nice guy, man.
Now, that song is
Zoe Dollars. He's damn, what's the name of the song?
Ransom,
Check.
Shouts to Rand. Shouts to Rand.
Ransom?
We got history.
Yeah, but Ransom wouldn't bring anybody in here. I love Ransom, but nobody knows who he is anymore, guys. Let's be honest.
Shouts to Rand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He just needs to get his.
Ransom.
I would have to get. Yo, Amir, this was us in the chat. Amir, stop telling people that we're fake in the chat. That's whack. I fuck with you, Amir, for just being here, but stop telling people we're fake, bro. That's crazy, bro. We're in here trying to chat it up with you guys, and you're calling us up. You're trying to say we're fake. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Exactly. Now we here.
Amir, just support, bro. I told you, when I get the crown next to my name, that's me. If it didn't have the crown, it is. I could have swore to God it was fake. Yo, bro, I promise you I wouldn't let someone fake my name in the channel. Trust me.
See what that stand for, y'all. Rhyme plus hustle.
It's all good, Amir. It's all good, Amir. We fuck with you being here. Champs Money. What up? Eric Rapp.
In here, man. G, now it's all good, homie.
Yo, who heard my dog bark during the interview?
Fucking Jasper was wilding. Started growling and all that.
It's all good, Amir. Tommy Lee, what up?
Shit. I think ATL is better.
You think so? Because they support, right?
Yeah, these New York DJs, they think they bigger than rappers.
Someone said when Meek Mill hit that ooh on the song.
That was a great interview. Thanks, Amir G. Appreciate that. Salute.
Young M.A. and A Boogie for interviews, I'm telling you. Well, I don't know Young M.A. or A Boogie, so we got to work on that.
We gonna work on that P&B Rob. We can work on that. You know what I'm saying?
21
Savage.
He's
You a savage.
Yo, stop calling my dog sexy, bro.
Yo, of course. That was a boy too.
JD, you need a small mixer. What is that? Oh. I got a mixer built in here, but you know, you guys, you can't mix things. Rex in Brooklyn, okay? I'm in Atlanta, and then Wendy Day is an unknown location, okay? We're pulling it off, trust me.
We
talking about mixers and all that.
Shit off, man.
If you guys, okay, if you want me to get a little mixer, Eric, go to that Patreon link, all right? I'll send you how to support us. We can get more equipment, but like, well, how much are we going to invest in something that doesn't make any money, guys? You got to support us. You know, we got, what do we got, $122 in there right now, right, Rick?
Yep. Champs money, what up? Salute.
Eric, it's just, we're trying to just make the best of what we got, man. You know, we invested in cameras and fucking mics and all that shit. Luke Keys, what up, bro? Okay, guys, I think we're going to end it here, man. We did 10 minutes of chat.
Here, man.
Let's not make this over 2 hours.
Change, man. MREC all day, man. You know, ask anybody about me. Jordan, has I ever changed?
Nah, let's end this before it gets to 2 hours. Yo, we appreciate you guys. We love you for coming to the chat. Peace.
Peace, man. Thank y'all.
This is Daily Hip Hop News Live with Jordan Tower and MREC, bringing you the